From Creamer Media in Johannesburg, this is the Real Economy Report. JSE-listed Vukile Property Fund has launched its revamped Bedworth Centre in Vereeniging, following a redevelopment project that started last year. Tasneem Bulbulia tells us more.
The revamp of the 29,200 square metre centre entailed improving aesthetics and amenities, as well as upgrades to layout, access and security. Vukile Property Fund South Africa MD Itumeleng Mothibeli explains what the revamp entailed and why and how the company undertook it.
We are very excited today to launch Bedworth Centre, which is a value centre that Vukile owned. We've owned it for the past 4 or 5 years. We've done a very exciting redevelopment here where we had a pick and pay hyper on about 16,500 squares being converted to 20 new brands and 2 anchors being Boxer and ShopRite. So it's a complete redevelopment but also repositioning of the centre to make sure that it provides for the broader community that has changed and evolved over the years, so that it's relevant and it provides a service that the community needs. The centre is 29,200 square metres. We now have 2 new anchors. We had a pick and pay hyper that measured 16,500 squares. We've redesigned that entire area now where we've got Boxer as one of the anchors alongside ShopRite. They now anchor the mall jointly on about 5,000 squares. We've then introduced 20 additional new brands to cater to different categories within the mall. So we've got a lot more homeware, we've got fast foods, we've got health and beauty to make sure that we give a comprehensive solution to the community of Bedworth Park, but also Sharpeville. That is about a kilometre away from where we are. We've got a very diverse and different shopper base, and we've had to make sure that we cater for multiple LSMs as broadly as possible, and that's what we've done with the introduction of the 20 new tenants. We're always on the lookout for value. So when we saw that the pick and pay wasn't necessarily performing as well as it should have, we did a lot of research to understand the dynamics around the market, and we felt that the market was strong, it was robust. We had a lot of critical mass in and around the mall. So we thought that if we had to take the big space that Pick and Pay Hyper occupied, subdivide that into smaller suites, cater for that market, we could build something that is yield accretive, that will bring returns for our shareholders, and would also show our expertise in what we call active asset management, which is finding tenants, building relationship with tenants and introducing them to malls such as this. So it's been an interesting journey for us. We've got very strong relationships with tenants. The 5 key tenants in this mall and the redevelopment form part of our top 10 tenants at Vukile in our broader portfolio that caters to about 800,000 square meters across 8 provinces. So we spoke to those tenants and said we had an opportunity to redesign, redevelop and grow in this node in a yield accretive manner, and they supported it. We always try and communicate to our current tenants the bigger picture, to say we've seen this opportunity, we see value. It will take a bit of disruption for about 6 months, but in the long term you'll benefit. And a lot of the tenants that have been here prior to the redevelopment bought into that. We started the redevelopment in March last year. It took about 9 months to complete and to have the anchors trading. And it's been trading now for the past 4 months. The rest of the retailers are now opening shop, and we're all quite excited to see where the mall will go to. The refurb is now complete. We're now done with the construction work. The mall is 91% occupied, so it's got a 9% vacancy. What we normally do with our malls, especially when we do redevelopments, is for the last 2 or 3 spots, we hold back and allow the current tenants to trade, see their figures, and what normally happens is they then expand within their stables by introducing additional brands. So the work is complete, the tenants are trading, the tenants are happy. It's been positive in terms of the trade for the tenants, especially the anchors, and we look forward to seeing how this mall will trade into the next year or so. The total cost of this redevelopment is 145 million. Just to give you context, that works out to about 7,500 Rand a square meter. To build a brand new mall will probably cost about 3 times as much. So it's been a very fascinating value engineering exercise to make sure that we drive value and also minimize the entry rental of a lot of our tenants. So that's what we've done in terms of the bolt work and the cost. Like I said, we've got 20 additional new retailers that are now trading, and we're looking forward to obviously seeing them all thrive into the future.
Mothibeli highlights how the revamp caters to the community, including initiatives like the local business or community hub.
So we have one of the biggest townships about 500 meters away from the mall. When we had acquired it, it only had vehicle access around the southern side of the mall, right? Which meant that a lot of these pedestrians had to cross a regional road and walk about 200-300 meters to gain access to the mall. What we've done is we've opened a new entrance very close to the proximity to Sharpeville, and also made it walkable to get them closer to the mall. And as part of the redevelopment process, we only had 3 entrances. We've now opened the 4th one, where it feeds directly into this entrance that we've opened for the Sharpeville residents to walk in. And we think that is very customer centric. It's very walkable. And it also, shows that we obviously care about a lot of our pedestrian patrons that come into the mall. Speaking to the community hub, what we normally do as Vukile, we always just make sure that we involve the communities in which you operate in. Majority of our tenant mix is by design national tenants. So in the context of Bedworth, 80% of our tenants are national tenants. But we always find a mechanism to say, how do we allow the communities to also form part of the retail experience? So here we found an operator, a gentleman called Itumeleng, that runs an idea where he finds operators in the community and he puts them into one shop where they sell, for the benefit of our customers. And it's doing very well. So they sell localized items that are not necessarily found anywhere else. So in this environment, we know that there's huge historical significance of Sharpeville and the massacre that occurred. You'll find a lot of memorabilia that speak to that in that store. So it's a very customer-centric view of saying how do we involve our communities to offer something that's unique that the shoppers may appreciate.
That's Creamer Media's Real Economy Report. Join us again next week for more news and insight into South Africa's real economy. And don't forget to listen to the audio version of our Engineering News daily email newsletter.